Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind Eminent Terry's Moon, Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel, and Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And like I said, I'm on a tyrant. I'm about to destroy everybody's oversoul. Now, right now, we finna talk about the third eye. Now, don't listen to nobody on the internet talking about the third eye, because it's gonna do nothing but confuse you and make you realize, aka your real life, make you realize something that you're not supposed to be realizing, something that's not worth realizing, something that you're just attaching to your imagination. So don't listen to, from this day forward, don't listen to nobody else talk about the third eye. Now this is what the third eye actually is. The third eye is your ability to realize. So it happens in all dimensions. People could try to point it out, but people don't know really where it's at. It's really just your conscious awareness in which you're able to be aware of. But your third eye kind of like sits and vibrate in that middle area. But this is what your third eye is. Your ability to realize. So for an example, your ability to realize. So you can realize in both realms. The external realm, and you can realize about a bunch of things in the internal realm. What you have here is a bunch of humans conflated and confused amongst the right and left brain, and then they confuse on thinking the third eye, and then because they took too much of their left brain and dived it into the right brain. So the third eye is your ability to realize, and it's simple as this. Say you're trying to, let's for an example, a math problem. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Now your ability to see the chalkboard and add it up, or add two sticks together, is 2 plus, and add it up is 4. Boom. That make you that's you realize that, right? So that's your third eye in the external. Now your third eye in the internal is when you had to think about it. You didn't use no external references. So you put together things in your mind, and you was like, and you realize the answer. Same way how you can realize someone is cheating on you. Same way you can realize you being manipulated. Some way you can realize. So your ability to realize is your ability to utilize your third eye. And how consciously aware you are is going to tell you how much you're able to use your ability to utilize your third eye. You see what I'm saying? Now here's the problem. We're in a society where you're forced to realize, aka you're forced to utilize your third eye. Now your third eye is equated to your imagination, creativity, and everything. You're able to project your astral projection and astral travel and everything. So it's like your accumulation of your ideas, things that you can realize. So the more conscious you where you is, you can be a very smart person who realize a lot of things. But here's the problem with society. You're forced and placed into things, into realizing things you don't necessarily have to realize. For an example, society may have a certain specific job. This certain specific job may pay a certain wages. The reason why you want to get paid and get money is because of what society also wants you to buy and things of that nature. So what happens here is you go use your own creative spirit to creatively do things in your own creative way in that job. So the better you know how to utilize and realize how the job run, aka utilize your third eye and be aware of all the ways of the system and how it's run, the better you will know how to effectively work that system. Then you can rise to the top or become a business and things of that nature within that field. But here's what happened. See, you took your own third eye and they forced you to realize things in their realization, in their reality. When really, when your third eye, you're supposed to use that to project your own imagination, your own realization, your own reality. You know what I'm saying? And then the more you push out your own reality, you push out that idea, that frequency, right? The more emotions and feelings you put behind it, the more you express it, the more water and fluid you add into it, so it becomes weight and density, and it can be brought down. It can matter and become matter and be brought down in the physical dimension that you're in. So you brought it from a higher realm and down into your realm. And now you get to experience your imagination. And then you have all these religions and stuff out here telling you that you are experiencing an imagination of a being that you in, which you are. So you need to know, if you got an imagination, you can decipher between what's an illusion and what's creativity, and what's actually there to do. Then you know how to decipher the being you in when it's on some bullshit as far as an illusion, and when it's on some shit predicated on reality. See what I'm saying? So, your third eye, the only reason it gets counseled, your third eye is automatically activated from the day you born. Don't ever let nobody tell you your third eye is calcified. When you listening to somebody and they telling you about your third eye and all the rituals and shit that they telling you, that's what's calcifying your third eye. Because you're realizing you're blocking your own viewpoint and you're forcing that in their reality and their realization, and then you have to realize and come up with creative methods of why that makes sense. So you giving that reality legs to move on. When really the actual reality is this your third eye. Your third eye automatically activated. Your chakra is automatically activated. It ain't until you was a kid and started getting older, or you started learning things and started having different perceptions, when aka you started realizing different things. When you was a kid and started getting older, your parents and your siblings started making you realize certain things. So your third eye was focused and paying attention on things that you may have not need to pay attention to. Now, things naturally that you need to realize is going to come to you, because you're going to experience, when you do something that you realize, you're going to experience, when you're going overboard, the life is and the sun is going to create realms of realities and situations, and people, places, and locations is going to take that shape and form, and it's going to create that situation and let you know that you're doing friction with your imagination. And this imagination is conflicting with the totality imagination. Same way, when you know fire is hot in this totality imagination, if you was to go put your hand on the stove while it's burning, then you're gonna feel the hotness. So you know naturally, and if you didn't know, you was gonna actually experience of knowing. So you experience knowing the actual real system naturally. It ain't till you start coming up with your own theologies, you start realizing other man's perception and other women things and other things, and start learning things from your mother and father and start learning things from the world, that this shit start getting calcified. So you're not realizing your own realization. That shit is blocked and cluttered by lights and illusions. It ain't blocked and colored by somebody trying to say it's mucus and this, that, and the third if you go in the sun and burning up. No, it's a metaphysical fluid. Not a physical fluid. A metaphysical fluid. And it plays off as the light forms and the light shades that you can't see. The light forms and the light shades before it became dense and appear as light. It plays as that. And that's what's making the third eye blind. It's not calcified, it's blind. Now, it may play out in some physical shit where doctors and scientists might look in your brain and say, oh, there's something going on there. Because we know everything comes from the frequency vibration first, then it play out in some type of way in the physical. It matters in some type of way, then it becomes matter, it becomes solid in some type of way. So we know the spirit is building a body around itself. So we know something's going to be going on in that area as far as a will, a chakra, your will, or a will itself. But at the same time, we know it's metaphysical. It's less dense. It's not dense yet, motherfucker. And that's your third eye. And the only time it get calcified is when you're forced to realize some bullshit. And 9 times out of 10, you're constantly forced to realize some bullshit. You're constantly forced to add your own ideas to some bullshit. You're constantly forced to imagine some shit that's already a totality of imagine. When you have your own imagination, you have your own third eye. And once you get into that realization, you'll start to realize the totality of this world. And you'll start to realize, okay, it's many different beings and ideas that I can inhabit. So I'm not going to limit myself, no matter what the fuck circumstance I'm in. So don't just look at it in the 3D form as the circumstance and situation you in as far as where you live and location, but take it a step further. The situation you in as far as the rotation and the solar system. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn.